Now I will discuss the ungrouped and grouped data for measures of dispersion. First, what is measures of dispersion? It is a measure of displace and gives us an idea about the variation and central value of an individual item. This will be the table for our example for ungrouped data. What is the range? You need to find the highest value and you need to find the lowest value. To identify it, you need to see here in the table that the highest value is 4.2 and the lowest value is 25.4. Therefore, if you 40.2 minus 25.4, it results to 14.8 minutes, and that is the range. This will be the table for finding the x squared, the summation of x, and the summation of x squared and the n. What is our n first? It's 7. How to solve the x squared? You need to multiply the x to itself by, for example, 30.2 times 30.2 equals 912.4. For you to find the summation of x, you need to add all of it from 30.2 to 30.2 for you to have a total of the summation of x equals to 227.5. Same to the x squared for you to have the summation of x squared equals to 7632.35. This will be our formula for variance. S squared equals to summation of x squared minus summation of x to the power of 2 and n, and sorry for the disalignment of the formula. I've used a phone for this presentation. Next, for the solution, let's proceed for the solution. For you to find the x, here is the summation of x squared and the summation of x, and the n is 7, and we have the solution. 227.5 divide 7, 227 rather, 227.5 to the power of 2 rather, divide 7 equals to 7,393.75 minus 7,632.35. Divide 6, it results to s squared equals to 39.77. That will be our variance. That will be our variance. Next, what is our standard deviation? Our standard deviation, you need to find the square root of the variance. The total amount of variance, you need to find the square root. And the square root of 39.77 is 6.31 minutes. That will be standard deviation. For interquartile range, there are two sets of data, the even and the odd. The formula for the interquartile range is Q quartile 3 minus quartile 1. To identify the quartile 1 and quartile 3, you need to have this process. You need to find the median of the set of data. This will be, and for for the left side, you need to find also the median, and also in the right side for you to identify the quartile 1, 2, and 3. If you identified, you need to undergo this process. And for the to find the interquartile range, you need to subtract the quartile 1 and the quartile 3 for you to have the it equals to 7, and it is the interquartile range for set A even set of data. For set B, add, same process, you need to find the median. You need and do this process and subtract the quartile 1 and quartile 3 to find the 3.5, and that is the interquartile range for set B, add set of data. And that's all for ungrouped data for measures of dispersion rather. Now I will discuss the group data. Example, the data is represent the ages of 40 women when they each had a boyfriend. Construct a group frequency distribution with 5 classes. This is the group frequency distribution with 5 classes or class interval. For example, how to distribute a frequency group frequency distribution. In 13 to 15, there are 3 frequency. Let's see. Let's find the 13 to 15 3 frequency. There are 1, 2, 3. That is the frequency for 13 to 15. Let's proceed to the range. How to find the range for group data? First, you need to identify the upper boundary and the lower boundary, or the highest class and the lowest class boundary. The upper boundary is 27 and the lower boundary is 13. For the upper boundary, you need to subtract 27 to 0.5 to have a 26.5. For lower boundary, you need to subtract 13 to 0.5 to have the 12.5. Therefore, from same process from the ungrouped data, you need to subtract the upper boundary or the highest class and the lower boundary or the lower class, and the range will equals to 15, and the total range is 15. This is the formula for variance standard deviation. For f, it is a class of frequency. For x, it is a class mark. For sub x, it is a sample mean. And for summation of f, it is a total frequency. This is the table for finding the variance and standard deviation. First, we need to find the class mark. How to solve the class mark? First, you need to add the for example, you need to add the 25 and 27 divide 2. It will equal to 26. 26. 26. That is the process on how to find the class mark. For the fx, how to solve fx? That is frequency times class mark. So you need to multiply the frequency in class mark. For example, 7 times 23, it's 161. For sub x, you need to divide the total frequency times class mark to the total frequency, 40. And you put all 20 in the sub x. For x minus sub x, you need to subtract the x and the class mark and the sub x. So, for example, 20 minus 20 equals to 0. For the x minus sub x to the power of 2, you need to multiply it to itself. For example, 6 times 6 equals 36. 3 times 3 equals 9. To find the f or the frequency times x or class mark minus sub x to the power of 2, you need to multiply, for example, 11 from the frequency. 11 times 9 equals 99. You need to add all to have a total amount of 450. So we need to find the variance and standard deviation. The variance is 450 divide 39. Why 39? You need to minus 1 on 40. It equals to 11.54. And the standard deviation is you need to find the square root of 11.54 and it equals to 3.4. That's the process on how to solve a grouped data on measures of dispersion. Additional, if we say 227.5 to the power of 2, you need to multiply it to itself. For example, 227.5 times 227.5 equals to 51,756.25.